Hello, boils and ghouls, and everyone creepy in between. This is another episode of the Average Ghost Mom podcast. Oh boy, oh boy. Um, oh, I'm just, it's just been, I do a lot of like batch recordings, and it's been a couple weeks since I've recorded. It's just kind of been really busy, and it feels really good to be back in the closet recording again. I didn't realize how much I would miss recording episodes for my podcast. This is actually it's kind of really fun just to kind of just like sit in here and just talk about whatever. Um Especially on my like personal episodes. It's like it's like really therapeutic. It's nice just to be able to just like get my thoughts out and like some people will understand, some people won't, some people will care, some people won't, some people can relate, some people won't, and I just don't really care. It's kind of like a personal diary entry of some of my deepest, darkest thoughts. Not all of them, though, respectively. I'm not out here trying to like air out my laundry or anything. So, I don't really think I have very much to talk about today as far as just like a kind of like a journal entry update. Um, but I have discovered Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Um, I don't really, I'm not, I don't know. I go through phases of like wanting soda and not wanting soda. And lately I've noticed the phase of not wanting soda are longer and more frequent. Um, but Dr. Pepper, first of all, I cannot do diet because the artificial sugar that they use gives me a headache. Like I've tried Diet Coke, I've tried Diet Dr. Pepper, I've tried Diet Pepsi. It doesn't taste good and it gives me a headache. So I can't do diet drinks. Well, I choose not to do diet drinks. And then some health guy, I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. He's like a social media presence. He's the one who doesn't like the cottage cheese recipes. He hates cottage cheese. And he's like, "Oh, every time people try to add in protein, they always add in cottage cheese and cottage cheese is nasty." But he's the one who pointed me to zero sugar Dr. Pepper. He goes, "They taste just like regular Dr. Pepper." And I saw that Dr. Pepper sells them in like a mini pack, like the mini cans. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll try one. And if I don't like them, like somebody in my life will drink them, right? And I tried one, and it's like a 98% similar, same. Like, there's just like the kind of 2% where it's like, can I, right now, I can't tell the difference exactly, but I can notice enough of a difference. Like, I haven't had a crisp Dr. Pepper in a really long time. So it's like, if you were to pour this for me and tell me it was a regular Dr. Pepper, I probably wouldn't have noticed a difference. I probably would have just thought, oh, it needs to be a little colder. Oh, it's too cold, like maybe you had in the fridge or something. But for the most part, I can't tell the difference. And so I will keep like a mini pack of Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar in my garage. Um, because every now and then I like something like fizzy and bubbly, and like sparkling drinks just don't hit it anymore. I do still enjoy the Bloom Pops though, but they're just so big. Like a normal sized can of soda is just like too much. I don't want it. I don't drink that much. I just need a little something just like, just like just a little crispiness. That's all that I need. That's all that I want. But I usually I'm into waters and flavored waters and probiotic water and I don't know, just juices, vitamin water and body armor. And then I also have like the Circle water, and I've discovered the Karma probiotic water. And then I also have like hydrating electrolyte packets for water, and then, of course, obviously just regular water. Like, I don't usually I don't really crave carbonated drinks all that often. So, and also I just don't drink wine anymore. Or wine. I just don't drink alcohol anymore, really. And it's not like I was never an alcoholic or anything like that. I never was like, "Oh, I think I'm getting out of hand with this." I'm just like, I just I have always been a lightweight. So like drinking one of generally anything has always kind of like, "Whoa, watch out, we're getting crazy up in here." And that's just like a level of inebriation that I just don't care to feel anymore. Because, I drink one margarita during dinner out at Chili's, right? And then it's like, okay, well, Josh has to drive. Um, and it's not like I'm like, whoa, and like tripping over myself or anything. I'm just like, okay, like I can feel the alcohol. Like I can feel that I'm not like 100% here, so like I'm not gonna drive. And it's like, I don't like it. I don't like it when other people drive. Like, because of my vertigo, I do not like it when other people drive, so I prefer to drive all the time. Unless I'm sleeping. You can drive while I'm sleeping. But no, I'm generally the driver to places. Um, Also, I don't know, I'm not even at a level where it's like I can be taken advantage of. Like I could fight somebody if I needed to. I probably wouldn't win. I've never been in a fight in my life, but regardless. Like it's not like enough to actually do anything, but it's enough where it's like my cheeks get really red because I have rosacea, and one of the triggers for my rosacea is alcohol, which is a common trigger for people with rosacea. But like my face just gets so burning hot red, and I'm just like, why would I want to continue to flare my rosacea on purpose? Because also, I think if I remember right, my first dermatologist told me if that rosacea can lead to crow's feet on the face, which is a kind of derm dermal veiny looking thing, and it doesn't look very attractive at all, apparently. Sorry if you have crow's feet on your face. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings if I did. But it's generally not something people want to have on their face. Just like how I generally don't want to have rosacea on my face. My whole cheek, it's always constantly red, but depending on what I have consumed, the temperature, who I'm around, the light, it becomes like a bright, bright shade of red. And it looks like I'm blushing, but I'm not. But then when I'm actually blushing, like my whole face gets red because my cheeks are already red. So people constantly are like thinking that I'm always blushing or something, and I'm not. But when I'm actually blushing, like my forehead and my chin and my nose gets all red, and then it's like, oh God, bad news bears. But anyway, so yeah, I don't really drink alcohol, and now I've discovered zero sugar soda. Tastes really good. Um, I got a whole regular size pack of the A&W. I haven't tried it. Josh said it's kind of the lack of sugar takes off the medicine-y, like the medicine flavor edge. So I'm like, oh, so it's kind of like just like licorice. She's like, yeah, but like it's not terrible. Also, Josh likes black licorice though, so I wonder if I would like it. I should try a sip of his soda before he drinks it to see how I like it. But either way, it's like coffee triggers my rosacea, alcohol, soda because of the sugar. um, if it's hot outside, if it's cold outside, um, um, oh, spicy things too trigger rosacea, trigger like a quote a flare up. So I I kind of generally tend to just stay away from those things anyway. Like I don't drink coffee either. It tears my stomach up. Oh my god, it twists my stomach up. It's terrible. The caffeine does not wake me up, does not bump me up or anything. The amount of sugar and the caffeine together cause a flare up for rosacea. It does not make me poop anymore than I normally poop. Okay, so the laxative part of it does not work with my body anymore. Um, it just, ugh, God, I feel so terrible when I drink it. I've tried, like, cause pumpkin spice latte season is here in full swing. It's been here, baby. And I love me APSL, okay? I generally go for cold brews because regular coffee drinks do not affect me. And we had went to somewhere. We were out at somewhere. I think at like a one of Josh's the latest like uh office, not office, but like company holiday, company party kind of thing. I think we went to Top Golf. And there's a Starbucks on the way home. And like, I mean, if you're out at Top Golf for a couple hours, you're kind of, woof, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna grab a coffee on the way home. And I grabbed me a cold brew because I love cold brews. And they've got that extra pump of caffeine because of the espresso in it or something like that, or the nitro cold brew. I don't know how it works, okay? I'm not a I'm not a coffee connoisseur. Okay. I don't drink coffee anymore. I'm not a coffee connoisseur because I don't drink coffee anymore. That was funny. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway, yeah, no, I like cold brews because cold brews used to do the trick. Back when I drank coffee regularly, once I figured out that like lattes don't do it for me, I would get cold brews, and cold brews like boom, pump me up, but like they just don't anymore. I think didn't somebody say, isn't it a thing that like the reason why caffeine like spikes up your energy level is because it's actually a drug for your body and it's trying to kill you. And so your body's like, whoa, we gotta process this faster to get it out of here or something like that. And that's why you have like that boost of energy to like keep you up, keep you awake from like passing out or something from the caffeine. Maybe my body has just been like in let's not die mode for so long that like anything is like, nah, whatever. Take me now. Wow, that got kind of dark. I didn't mean to go there. Whoopsie. I accidentally said that out loud. I didn't mean to say that. We can just move on. Let's just move on. Anyway, I specifically was saving opening my can of Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar so I could do a little ASMR with you guys. So I don't know how loud or how quiet this is going to be on my mic. So I'm just going to put the mic down and then I'm going to open it and I'm going to take a sip and I'll be right back. So this one's for the ASMR people. There, how was that? Is that good? I don't know. I'll have to come back and listen to it. I have no idea. Hold on, I'm gonna pause real quick. Okay, we're back. That didn't do anything, and I can't tell. Well, it's probably because these are bad mics. It's probably not because they're good mics. These mics are supposed to be like noise canceling, but they are only like $3 on the TikTok shop. So it's probably because they're bad mics is why I didn't pick it up, and not because they're good mics. But it did cancel the noise, so I don't know. It kind of did what they say they were going to do. Anyway, so that didn't work. That was a fail. So sorry to kind of waste, 20 seconds of everybody's lives trying to listen to a crispy Dr. Pepper. It didn't work out. Go figure. Anyway, so let me see. You know, parenting is so crazy. Parenting is so crazy, okay? Because it's like you have to gauge where your kid is mentally. And it's like, okay, if I try to teach them this concept, are they going to get it verbally? Because sometimes it's really hard to teach concepts physically, like when you lead by example, which is something that, oh my God, hold on. I am so sorry. That was gross. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna go back and listen to see if my mic picked that one up or not. It just is gonna be whatever it's gonna be. Anyway, one thing I'm really trying hard is to lead by example because Ava's 6, she is understanding the world around her and she is picking everything up, which she has been for the past probably 4 years, right? But like now she's really getting it, especially with her going to the school that she goes to where a lot of things is led by example, because of how their classroom is grouped and stuff. And so one thing how I want to be a better parent is I want to be able to lead by example because it's like, oh, I basically what we're really going gung ho this next calendar year is being thankful and grateful, humble and patient. Cuz the patience that this child lacks, oh my God, causes me to lack it as well. And see, it's like one thing like I know to be when I need to say thank you. Like I know, oh, someone does something nice for me. Hey, thanks. Like, oh, someone held open the door. Okay, thanks. And like Ava sees it and she thinks like, oh, well, obviously mom held open the door for me. Like that's what she's supposed to do. Excuse me. And so I don't get a thank you when I hold open the door for her. Which on one hand, well, like, yeah, like this door she can't open. So I need to open it for her. Um, but she can still tell me thank you, you know? Um, and like being grateful and humble. She's she has been practicing not being grateful and humble lately. She has been kind of a bully to her best friend, and that's really upsetting to see because in her like it shows me like, oh, she is comfortable enough with this person where she thinks it's okay to be rude to them, probably because Josh and I are rude to each other in a playful way. See, that's kind of the thing is like Josh and I will be rude to each other, but it's not because we hate each other. Like obviously, like we have like this kind of like inner game with each other to try and like flip each other off whenever we can, and like to try to like get the other person. I tell you, there was one time Josh came out. It was like a day off or something for him, and he came out from the bedroom when I was at my desk working, and he starts telling me about this crazy dream that he had, all for it to finish with, yeah. And then I turn around and I gave you this, and then he flips me off, and I was like, wow, that whole elaborate dream just for you to flip me off. Like, that was a good one. Like he got me good, and and so like we tease each other in a playful way, but if you don't know any better him calling me an asshole or something. Like, hey, what up, asshole? Which he doesn't actually do that. He doesn't actually really call me any names. He doesn't really call me names at all. Um, which I enjoy. But for example, like something we could do is that. And like anyone who doesn't know our dynamic would be like, oh my God, that was really fucking rude to call your girlfriend that. I was like, no, 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 no. Like that's my pet name, which it's not, but so, by exemplifying these behaviors in front of my single child 6-year-old, uh, yeah, I guess you could say it totally makes sense why she thought it was okay to tell her friend that her, Ava, picture was better than her friends. Because she thinks, oh, this is how we talk to our friends. This is how we talk to the people we love, is we put them down. And it's like, close, after you get to know them very well, after you've established, you know, that. Because, like, me and my best friend, we do that too. Bitch, what's up? Like, people do that. I'm not the first person who is a dick to my best friend out of love. Like, we both know I would never, ever refer to my best friend as a bitch. Like, literally, actually. Not unless I was talking to her and she was acting like a bitch, but even then, like, If someone was like, "Oh yeah, like how is like such and such person?" I would never be like, "Oh my girl, she's a fucking bitch." Well, I might if I don't like this other person. Anyway, that's besides the point. Ava is still learning about the boundaries of friendship and familyship and how we treat other people and where that boundary is of joking and being rude, and it's coinciding with being ungrateful and not thankful and not humble because she thinks, I mean, it also doesn't help that she's a single child. I mean, she's basically always gotten anything she's ever wanted. And it's not like we go out of our way to give her what she wants. It's not like she's saying like, "Oh, daddy, I want a pony for my 4th birthday." Like that's fucking insane. No. It's just like we're at the checkout line. It's like, "Well, hey mommy, can I like have a candy bar?" And I mean like if she was good in the store, the candy bar's like what, $2? That's okay. Sure. You know? Or like we're out and about going grocery shopping, like I'm already going to get a drink. Hey mommy, can I get a pink drink from Starbucks? And it's like, okay, well, I would already like yeah, Ava, that's a really good idea. I would also like a drink from Starbucks, which these days it's 7 Brew, but still, a coffee shop drink. Hey mom, can we get a drink? And it's like, hell yeah. Because Ava's like my little best buddy. Like that stuff has kind of been hitting me lately that Ava is my little best buddy. She wants to, "Hey, mommy, can we just cuddle in bed before I have to go to bed for the night? Can we just cuddle for a little bit?" And it's like, "Yes." And they're like, "Hey, mommy, can I have some scissors so that way I can do these art projects so I don't have to ask you to cut because those are adult scissors and I can't handle adult scissors?" Well, I mean, where's the logic? The logic is there. Why would I say no? Scissors are what, $2, $3, a dollar for the kid safety scissors? And she's 6. She's a first grader. I trust her with safety scissors to only cut paper, which she's been proving me right so far. Now, granted, she has been cutting her beef jerky sticks open with the scissors, and I'm like, nope, we have separate scissors. There's food scissors in the kitchen. These are crafting scissors, okay? We keep them for the paper. But like, "Hey mom, can I have a sheet of stickers? Yeah, so I can do arts and crafts?" "Well, yeah, sure." What, a whole big packet of like 5,000 stickers was at $5? It ain't nothing. When you have a single child, it is easy to say, "Yeah, sure, you can have this one thing, this one cheap thing." Because that's the thing, it starts with like small stuff, like the candy bar, like, "Hey, can I have a drink?" Like I was already gonna go get a drink, and then you bring it up that you want a drink. So yeah, I'll get you a drink. Like that's what we do. When we go grocery shopping, we get a drink. That's just part of our like weekend routine. "Hey, can I have a safety scissors? Can I have a sheet of stickers for arts and crafts stuff?" And that's all cheap stuff. Yeah, sure, Ava. That's fine. Especially if it keeps you busy so I can work and you're not bothering me so much. Of course. It always starts with the small stuff. And then from there, it just kind of grows into this big thing because it's not like, "Oh, I'm going to get one sheet of stickers and you and your sibling have to share it." Like, that's where like being humble and the patience comes in. Like Ava's good at sharing. Um, well, so I deduct from her school. Um, she's good, she's fine with sharing, she understands sharing, but she thinks, hey, she legitimately thinks that her request to have a pool during her birthday is going to happen because she's always gotten everything she's wanted. Because all of her previous requests have been reasonable, have been not financially unobtainable, you know? Like at dinner, like, "Hey mom, like I don't want to drink water because I drink water at school all day. Can I have a balloon pop?" "Yeah, sure." You know? Sure, have a balloon pop because you're not asking for like a regular soda. You're asking for like a minimal sugar soda. And sure, you're right. You've had water all day at school. Like I'm the exact same way. If I've had water all day, I'm gonna want something that's not water at dinner. Theoretically speaking, yeah. Like so, it's hard to teach single kids off the bat how to be grateful, thankful, humble, patient. So it's been a challenge, but this next calendar year I'm really going to put in the effort. One thing we've started doing, because this is something, and I'll get into this in my next personal episode that I do, my New Year's resolutions. I always think about them at the beginning of fall so I can start working on them at the end of fall and the beginning of winter so I can work them into my regular schedule, into my regular like agenda for the day. My regular routine, that's the word I'm looking for. Cuz like New Year's resolutions don't don't work out if you just up in one day go at 100%. Like January 1st, I'm going to start going to the gym every day. If you just up and start something new, a new routine at 100%, you're not going to last. So that's why I start doing new habits that I plan on doing in lieu of the new year, like a month or two before the new year actually is here. So that way, if I'm not 100%, that's fine. I'm starting it though. Even if it's one time a week, we're starting it. So one thing I'm doing with Ava is we're starting a, I don't know, grateful journal, a thankful journal. I don't know what to call it. But she has 3 prompts, and the goal is to do it every day. But right now, what we've been is trying to at least get it like a couple times a week, or at least honestly once a week. Um, so her first prompt is something I am thankful for, and then the next prompt is oh something I did independently, and then the third prompt is something I did that was helpful. Um, so obviously the first one's pretty self-explanatory. One thing that I'm grateful for, one thing I'm thankful for. Being grateful and being thankful is basically the same thing. Um, Something that she was independent about. 'Cause that's another thing is like I'm trying to teach her that she needs to think more independently and be a little more independent because she'll get in like this little whiny mood where like, I can't do this. I'm not big enough. I'm not strong enough. Like she can't open a bag of chips. It's hard. I can't do it, mommy. Do it for me. And she can open her damn bag of chips. And if she's physically unable, because there are some bags of chips out there that are kind of hard for a 6-year-old, okay, you got scissors. You got scissors. You can open it up. Find an alternative route. Or if you just absolutely need me to help, wait a damn minute. Okay, I'm busy doing stuff. Let me finish working on this patient so I don't lose where I'm at, and then I'll help you. Like, I'm fine to help you when you absolutely need the help, but you need to give me a minute? So trying to teach her be independent, be an independent thinker. And then something a way how she was helpful, that's being humble. And in this case for a 6-year-old. How did you help somebody today? How did you do something that wasn't all about you today? You know? So, trying to work on doing that more, trying to remember, but some days, I mean, like right now it's really hard. So, just cuz it's just busy, it's the end of the year. It's just really busy. Um, so yeah, so if anybody has any um tips, tricks, ideas, comments, questions about what other things can I do for a single child in the terms of grateful, thankful, humble, and patient? Like, patience is a really big one. That's kind of one that we have to talk about every single day with her. Like, hey, if we're busy doing, like, if Josh and I are talking, you can put your hand on my shoulder or on my leg or on my side or something. You can put your hand on me. And I know when I get to a stop in this conversation, I'll ask you what's up. But like you have got to learn, you don't just get everything quick. And of course, oh, she's a tablet baby. Of course she's doesn't have any patience. Yeah, I know. She is. And guess what? For the whole month of December, she's lost her tablet. So I think I go into that in a different episode, but hold on, because I write all this stuff out. I have to keep track of everything and whatnot. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a couple, you know, in 2 weeks, because I'll have kind of an update on it by then too. Um, but yeah, I know she's a tablet baby, and so patience is kind of like a really big thing that we've been working on with her. And the easiest way is with like, hey, I'm busy doing something, you need to wait. What's really been hard, and I'm not sure. I think I had a good idea. I just have to remember to implement it and like to remind her to implement it. Is this is what she'll do? Mom, mom, mommy, mommy, mom. And it's like, girl, you have said my name 7 times in less than 10 seconds. Can you give me a damn minute? Okay. So I told her she could say my name once and then she has to count to 10. And if I don't respond, because I have to, I have to also understand from her point of view, I don't always hear her. Like if she's on a different part of the house, like if she's upstairs in her room and I'm downstairs in the kitchen, I usually cannot hear her. So her reason sometimes is like, well, I didn't know if you heard me or not. And I'm like, okay, like that's a good reason because half the time I don't hear her, honestly. So tell her, say my name once, count to 10, and if you don't get a response from me, then you can, say my name again, but then you have to wait. Or like, come find me, If you see that I'm busy doing something, then you wait, you know? So she only gets to say my name maybe up to 3 times before I lose my shit. Which I usually don't have to because usually, like, again, usually I'm not doing something that's entirely pressing other than working where I can't answer her in that moment. You know? Like it's just I don't know. That's just how I see things. But moving on. Moving on. Moving back, moving on, moving sideways. Ava, girl, hold on. Let me say I grew up in Nebraska, okay? And I guess I didn't even realize maybe it wasn't even my state. Maybe it was just my school district. But something that we did every year in art class. Okay, so in art class, in my school system, there, of course, you're doing all sorts of projects, all sorts of things. You're learning new techniques. Art class was like the best. And every year, up until I think like maybe a sophomore in high school, I think freshmen had to take art. Like that was like one of the easier, that was like an elective that had to be done. Because there's not very many electives for freshmen. A lot of electives are mainly for like the upperclassmen because it's like, okay, like like you've been here, you're a little older, you're not just fresh out of middle school, like we kind of trust you with a saw, maybe. I think all freshmen had to take art. So, but every year, up until the year that you could choose your electives and you didn't have to take art, the art teacher would select one project that every grade did, and she would send it to whatever company, and the company would send home like an order sheet, and you could get this piece of artwork that your child did as a thing. So, like, my parents always got a magnet. There's keychains, there's bags, there's coffee mugs, there's blankets, there's tumblers, there's pencil holders, there's aprons, probably t-shirts, sweatshirts. Like it's just a printing company. And so like every like it was always the same project because of course like there's a template that the art teacher has. Like okay, like every every like 5th grader is going to do these kinds of projects and like it's going to be like I'm going to teach them like this thing, that thing, this thing and that thing. And like those are like the things we're going to work on this year and like it's going to be every year every 5th grader will go through when they have art class. These are the things we're going to work on, you know? And cuz like kindergarten was we got to paint. And so like my painting, no. Mine was an a paper rip uh, art piece. So you rip the paper into whatever shape it's supposed to be, and then you glue it down, and that is it. So I ripped, you're supposed to rip a sun and a butterfly and some grass and I think maybe a flower. I can't remember. No, I think the butterfly was the big project. So, you rip out the body out of a black piece of paper and then you make some big rips and you make wings and then you glue it on. And my sister's was the same except she got to paint her sky blue where mine was just like a blue piece of paper. And then she got to cut. She used scissors, but it was butterfly, sun, grass, that's it. Like very simple idea for a kindergartner. And then there was one year where we made these weird geometric shaped masks and let's see what was another one? A portrait. I think like it's a 7th or 8th grader. Everyone had mirrors and you have to like try your hand at a portrait, you know? Um so that yeah. My parents always got magnets and so my you could if you went into my house, you would see basically every year's art project of like the main one, like the big thing, I guess, like the best thing that my art teacher thought or something. I don't know. I don't know how she chose what she chose, but she made the decision on which art piece at which grade, and it was the same for everybody. You know, 5th graders, the art piece that gets printed will always be when we do this lesson, it'll be whatever they do for that. 7th graders, it will always be the self portrait lesson that I do. That will be the one that's printed. So you can find my face and you can find my sister's face. You'll see my mask and you see her mask. I think one of them was a heart for me. I think she did a star, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long. So I thought everybody did that. I literally thought like every school in America did that. So this year, and I didn't even realize it with kindergarten last year that they didn't do it. But this year, Ava's school does that, and I was like, "Oh, babe, like, look, like," which I thought was interesting because they don't have an art class really because they don't have an art teacher. Same with like music, they don't have a music class because they don't have a music teacher, but their teacher like does some song stuff with them. So, but her school works a little differently. Um, so they just like drew some stuff and then they're like, okay, like you can pick. Do you want this one or that one or both? How do you want it printed? And they did that. So when I came home, I was like, oh babe, look, it's the prince. And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't know what I'm talking about? It's the prince. And he's like, yeah, what is this? And I'm like, you didn't do this when you were in school? And he's like, no. And I'm like, that is insane to me because I thought every school did it. I asked my best friend who went to a couple different schools growing up in the state of Alabama. She's like, "Yeah, no, I don't know what this is." And I'm like, "Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy that I know what this is, and that's crazy that my kid's school does this in the state of Alabama because apparently that's not a thing here." Um I'm definitely getting it. She did a ice cream cone, like a rainbow geometric ice cream cone, and then she did a bird, I think, like a chick. I can't remember anymore. It's been so long. But yeah, I'm gonna get them printed out, turn them into magnets, because I didn't see a magnet option on the website from these people. But also, their stuff's really expensive. For like a single coffee mug with one little print on it, $20. That doesn't even include shipping. That's insane. I would never spend $20 on one single coffee mug. So I just took a good picture of her artwork and I will just go print it off at Walmart and then I will put it like they have magnetic like sheets of magnets, like the magnetic backing and it's a sticky backing and I'll put them on and then I'll cut them out. Boom. Here you go. Have yourself a magnet art piece from my child for this year. There we go. Super cheap. Super cheap. It'll be like what? Maybe $10 for everything. Ugh. Lord. So also at the end of November was my parents' anniversary. And now I can finally talk about this project because it is way past their anniversary by the time this comes out. So my mom texts me one day. Hold on, I need a drink of this. My mom texts me one day. She's like, "Hey, so I have this idea. I'm gonna make your dad a slideshow of pictures of him and I for our anniversary, and I'm gonna put it to this song. So if you have any pictures of us, can you send them to me?" She's like, "Don't tell anybody because it may or may not happen. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have for this, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to figure it out." And I'm like, "Okay, Mom, do you just want me to do it?" And she's like, "You would do that for me?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, no shit, I would do that for you. You're my mom. Like, I would kill a person for you, Mom. Of course, I could make you a simple little slideshow. Like, this is gonna take me, like, what, 20 minutes to do?" And it basically took me 20 minutes to do. Um, but so Mom sent me, well, at first she goes, "Huh, 445 pictures. That's probably too many, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you might want to narrow that down to maybe like 50." I think it was like 45 slides of pictures, except a handful of slides had like two pictures on them. Um, so she probably sent me like maybe like probably like 65 pictures of her and dad. And a couple of them were of like her and dad and my daughter, Ava, and then some of them were like me, my sister, mom and dad, the family. And she wanted the song Camera by Ed Sheeran to play in the background. Um, so, I got it all set up for her the best that I could. I couldn't figure out how to convert the song to an MP3 to put in the background. I could only figure out how to put it as a YouTube like clip on one slide, and it just was not working. I couldn't figure it out. So she had to play the song on her phone and then hit play on the slideshow. But other than that, like it took me 20 minutes besides all the research of having to figure out how to turn a YouTube video into an MP3 and then unsuccessfully doing it. And I tell you what, y'all, I watched it a couple times. Like I started a couple times to make sure that like the timing and the song was right and it wasn't like too fast of slides. But then before like I sent it to her, I had to watch it all the way through to make sure like it lined up perfectly with how it was supposed to be. And when it got to pictures of like her and the family they have made, and then like her and like of her grandchild, you know, oh, I lost it. I lost it. Like Ed Sheeran's sweet, sugary voice is just so, there's just something about the songs and stuff. I was sitting on my chair, I'm crying, my mascara's running, and Josh looks over, he's like, "Oh my God, babe, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. It's just, uh, it's just the slideshow. It's okay." He's like, "What?" Because he had his gaming headphones on, so he didn't know the whole time what the heck was going on. I'm like, "It's okay. It's just this project. It's just really got me, and my mom just got me crying right now. It is okay." He's like, "Oh, okay. All right. If you're fine and you say so, I guess." I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine." I don't know. I get super sappy these days, post pregnancy, my hormones are everywhere, and I cry at everything. I mean, shit, I cried during Hamilton when his son died. I cried at Hamilton when the person who plays his son, but before he was his son, his friend, I cried when he died. I cried when Hamilton died. I cried when Eliza was like, "I lived 50 years and I had an orphanage of children who I helped, and I read these papers and I wrote these papers. I just did what he wanted me to do. I did what Hamilton would do. I wrote." And I was like, "Oh my God, he cheated on her and she hated him for so long. And in the end, they came back together. Uh, and now he's dead. And I think it's really also specifically symbolic in that musical. The fact that his friend, wait, hold on. Let me think about this for a second. Was it his friend? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. No, he was in war when he died. Well, anyway, he like told that his friend was like, oh, it was his friend. It was his friend. Was it? No, I can't remember. Anyway, at first Hamilton was like, no, no, don't duel. Like, whatever. But if you're gonna duel, I'm gonna be there. When it was him against Burr, but not Burr, because their sidekick friends were doing it. And he was like, "Don't duel. It's not the way. But if you're gonna do it, I want to watch. But don't do it. You can't say I told you to do it because I didn't tell you to do it." And Hamilton should have like really stepped in there and been like, either like, "No, bro, back off," or he should have done it himself. And then he told his son, like, "Nah, you know what? I don't agree with it, but if you're gonna do it, take my gun. Take the guns and go do it. Go fight, son. You know, because that's how it be in these parts." And then his son gets fucking killed. And then finally, Hamilton himself was like, nah, I sent too many people into duels. Too many people. I'm gonna go. And then he loses. I don't know. There's just something about that. It's like crazy. It's like, wow. Crazy how someone got shot in every single duel, and the last time it was finally you. Coward. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, crying because I'm sappy in mom's project for dad. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. And then let me tell you the cherry on top. So okay, look at your hand and make like the okay sign. Like if like trying to like tell somebody down the aisle, the grocery store, like, oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. Not the thumbs up. I'm talking like make an O with your thumb and your index finger, and then like your next three fingers are like up in the air, kind of like a K, I think maybe. I don't know. But that sign. But you know how like that's like a meme and like you get people and like you put on your thigh and you're like, oh, what's this? Oh, got you, dude. So me and my sister and my dad, we play that. Like it's a long term, we've been playing it for the past like 10, 12 years. Okay. And we'll go for months. And then one of us in the group chat will just like randomly put in and be like, God damn it, like they got me, like shit. Like I'll send like a video and it'll look like it's a cooking video, and then the person will be like, got him. And it's like, Jesus shit. So so I had a picture of that. Um, in last year's Thanksgiving picture, I flipped off the camera, so I took a little snippet of my middle finger. And then, as a joke, my dad sent me a picture of his butt. He was bending down to pick up something and he pulled his pants down a little bit, so I saw his whole fucking butt crack. And on the very last slide of this slideshow, so imagine this. You're sitting here, husband and wife, tears running down your face as this beautiful, lovely slideshow that your loving wife, has put together for you. To this beautiful song that's just got you all in your feels, and you see your family and your grandchild, and oh my gosh. Like, wow, like almost 30 years, and here we are. We've been through some rough times, we've been through obviously some great times. And then a slide, hey, Dad, Mom loves you a lot, but so do I, right? And then the next slide, boom, his butt on the his bare butt on the screen, plus a little okay gotcha and my middle finger. Got him. I got him so good. Imagine tears and then what? And then oh my god. Yep. I ended the slideshow with my dad's bare naked ass looking right back at him. Cause play has gotta play. You know what I mean? I gotta show him like, yeah, I was in on this, Dad. I love you too, though. I love you too. So, Dad, if you're ever listening to this, I love you too. And I thought about that slide a lot. And I wish I could have seen your reaction. So, I can only imagine your reaction. I love you very much, though. So, yep, successful anniversary project. Um, I also through my best friend a birthday slash kind of graduation party because she is following her dreams and I am so proud of her. It's really weird. Ever since I met her, we've kind of been like on this weird parallel with each other. There was a time when we kind of like separated for a little bit, like the vibes weren't bouncing off each other for a little bit, but then we came back together. And I don't know, like just ever since I met her, we have just been side by side with like our life paths have just been pretty parallel, you know? And I'm just so proud of her. She's following her dreams. She said, "F this retail job. I'm gonna go work at PetSmart." And she was a bather, and she's like, "I love getting to work with dogs." And even though this isn't like the greatest, it basically is because I get to see dogs and pet dogs and play with dogs. Not play with dogs, but I get to touch dogs every day. And they get to come in looking like this, and I get to send them out looking like that. And it's just so cool. And she got a really good reputation in a really short amount of time as being like a really good bather. And like her manager was like, "Hey, would you ever want to be like a groomer?" And she's like, "Honestly, kind of my dream to be a groomer. Like, of course, like the pay raise is nice and whatever, but like getting to groom dogs is like I get to play with dogs every single day, and it's gonna be freaking awesome. I don't have to do like this stinky bather job all the time. Like grooming, you know, they come in looking like this, they come to me all clean, and then I get to trim them all up and send them out looking amazing. Like, yeah, it's it's a dream of mine to get to work with animals, and this is one of the ways I would love to work with animals. And she went to grooming school for like a month, and now she's a groomer. And so far from what I can tell, she is loving it and she's living it, and I'm so proud of her because like she did it. I know she went into this and she was all like, "Oh my god," and it's crazy and it's exciting and it's anxiety inducing. But like she did it and I'm so proud of her. I am. I'm so proud of her. She is really inspiring sometimes, and this is one of the ways that she's really inspiring. Like go after it. Nothing is so far-fetched. Haha. See what I did there? That was a pun intended. Nothing is that far-fetched that it's out of your reach if you really, really want it that bad. You know? Crackheads don't make any money and they still manage to get crack. Don't be out hustled by a crackhead. That's all that I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. She will never be out hustled by a crackhead. She has always figured out her shit and it's always been fantastic. And she's really just like a great person. So, if you're listening to this, bestie, you know who you are, and I'm so proud of you. Publicly, I'm so proud of you. But anyway, I threw this party for her because her birthday was like a couple days after her graduation, and it was kind of just like, yeah, like we'll just do like a 2-in-1 because what I've known her for 7 or 8 years, and I've never thrown her a birthday party before. So knew her favorite color was green. I made some green decorations for her because, Lord, Party City closed and now there's, oh, go to Michael's for your stuff. Oh, go to Walmart for your stuff. No. There's like nowhere that does like good, expansive party supplies. I mean, I'll be honest, Walmart kind of good. Good for general, not good for specific. Nowhere is good for specific. Hobby Lobby? Mm, could be better. You've got a lot of space in that store. I think you could rearrange it a little differently, but I'm not the owner of Hobby Lobby. Michael's pitiful. Pitiful. I mean, it's a bare minimum party corner that they've got over there. So, I made my own custom decorations for her, and I made them so they'd match the party invitation that I sent out to people. I thought that was really clever. And we went to Logan's and everyone had like a really nice little time. So, yeah, I don't know. I have learned that I really enjoy throwing parties. Um I enjoy throwing parties so much that I am freaking throwing like extra little quote paint parties in throughout December with my friends. Come over, paint, eat some charcuterie stuff, and be merry. That's literally it. Like I'm just throwing a little get together just because I just want to throw a little get together. No particular reason, just to celebrate friends, which is very Yule of me. Celebration and being thankful and grateful and, wanting to spend time with my good friends. My best friends, my great friends. And then we had a little family day. We went to a place called Barrett on the Mountain, which is up here, down here, over here in Huntsville. And I was sorely mistaken. I thought this was going to be just like a little hour-long little look at a couple things and then okay, we'll go to lunch, we'll go out. Like when I had decided, oh, let's so okay, hold on. Backtrack. Ava's school went on a field trip to Barrett on the Mountain, okay? And I saw some of the pictures that they took, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I want to go see what this place is." Like, Ava really enjoyed herself. So I have my own little mini tour guide, Let's, how about, Ava, how about you and I go one, one little weekend? And, she said, sure. So I was thinking, oh, it'll just be an hour or two. We'll go grab brunch and then we'll go meet Daddy because Daddy gets her on the weekend, you know? And Josh was like, oh, can I come with you guys? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I didn't think he'd have very much fun just going to what I thought was a one-room schoolhouse and, some dead guy's house. I thought that's all it was some dead guy's house and a schoolhouse and then like the gift shop. I thought that was gonna be it. Boy, was I wrong. Um, Bear on the mountain, Bear on the Mountain is a dead guy's mansion plus the gift shop, and they have moved several of Alabama's oldest house settlements or settlement houses to this mountain. It's on the mountain. So now that I'm thinking about it, that road going up the mountain to this dead guy's mansion, wow. I'm just now realizing how the hell did they get some of those houses? Okay, they have houses that date back to like 1804. Cab cabins, excuse me, they're not really houses like you and I think. They're cabins from 1804, 1825, 1837, 1862. Okay? They have they have cabin, they had a like a watershed, they had a barn, they had a real life pig, real life goats, real life chickens. They have a barn cat that just wanders around. So cute. They had a smoke shed, and it's more like a smoke barn, but like to smoke their meats, to cook their meats, and to make their meats last for a while. Um, they had lots of tools, large tools, small tools, and it starts from like 1804 and it goes up to like 1898, basically. They had a blacksmith's barn with all of this. Oh my God, I didn't realize how blacksmithing worked. Because, like, like in video games, you go to the blacksmith and the background's not really bright at all. You just kind of see a fire and an anvil, and he's hammering a piece of metal to make a sword. And I'm talking back in the era of knights, okay? So, like, I didn't realize what a quote modern blacksmith shop looks like in the 1800s in America, in the foothills in Alabama. That was the coolest thing I have ever seen, was walking into that blacksmith shop and seeing all these tools in the back, all of these iron things that they make, and then seeing the huge, like, pump. It's not a pump organ. It's not an organ. It's the oh my god, what the hell is that tool? What's the instrument? The accordion fan. The accordion style pump fan is huge. It's like the size of a full-sized bed. Like, like a full, not a king, queen, but a full. That thing was huge, and they would pump that to pump oxygen to get the fire to go, to roar, to what? It was crazy. And then, like, seeing how the watershed worked, that was really cool too, and like how it helped with like refrigeration for certain like dairy products. And then, um, let's see. Oh, like not a wood, not a log splitter, but like when they had to like make their handles for their axes out of wood, and how like the tools, the machine that they would, kind of set them up. And then like seeing all their cooking utensils as we get into like the later 1800s, all of the cast iron cooking things that they had was crazy. Their beds, super uncomfortable looking, I tell you what. But like there was a house that they had brought up where it had one chimney in the middle of the house, but it was two fireplaces. And like there was like a wall in between, but it was two fireplaces and one chimney. That is so genius. That's like less work you have to do, you know? That was basically like their version of like a townhouse, like a duplex, basically. Back in the freaking 1800s, they had duplexes. They had two-story cabins. That's insane to me. Um, there was a church, there was a schoolhouse, which was more than one room, and they in the I didn't know this, in the 1800s, in the late 1800s. You know how like some schools will have like fake walls so that way you can like pull back the wall, kind of like accordion style with that as well. And there's like one big long classroom. That's what they had also. They had accordion style fake walls that you could combine two classrooms with. That is insane that they even like were like, "Oh, hey, we should do this. We should do this thing or something." I don't know. That was so cool. Um and then I don't remember if the last house was like 1902 possibly, but like getting to see like the fire burning stove and getting to see like their Dutch oven, not their Dutch oven, yeah, the Dutch ovens, the cast iron Dutch ovens, like how many sizes they had for all these different things and what their version of a refrigerator was. It's crazy. And a high chair. I got to see two different high chairs. So crazy. Oh, man. And all these tools, I don't know. I love historic things like that, especially when it actually no, I just love historic things, period. I love museums and all and everything. I love just about every time period. Any time period of getting to see like tools and stuff. Art is pretty cool. But I like seeing like pieces. Like we got to go into these houses that people built back in the 1800s. That is over 100 years ago. That is for some of these over 200 years ago. And these houses, they managed to preserve them and to bring them up a mountainside. It's just crazy, dude. Barren on the Mountain is really cool. It took us like 2.5 hours to walk the whole thing, and I'm so glad that um Josh wanted to come and that I was like and that not that I would have said no even if it was what I thought it was, but I'm really glad that like I'm glad I'm not a bitch, basically. I'm glad I'm not like, no, this is a mommy daughter day. No boys allowed. Like, yeah, of course Josh can come. Unless Ava really wanted it to be just a mommy daughter day. But yeah, it is a dead guy's mansion. They also have a large pavilion and then like an events building, which I assume was nice because they were setting up a wedding. It has a fantastic cliff overview look of Huntsville from this mountain top. And then you walk past the gift shop and then there's kind of like a learning building. So there's like it's like a kind of like a smaller event center with where the learning materials are for when schools come and do like field trips. And then you go see the church, which the doorknobs on that thing. Dude, this church, if anyone has ever seen the movie Sinners, this church was it. This church had a couple of pews, and then it had a little spot, like a little, probably like a 10-foot by 10-foot box up at the front that was only maybe like 4 inches tall, and that's it. Of course, there was like windows, but that's it. One large room, that one little 10-foot by 10-foot, 4-inch high box, and some pews, and that's it. It was so empty. It looked just like the church from the movie Sinners. Oh my goodness gracious, it was so cool. So you walk past the church, and then you walk around the pavilion, and then you enter like the settlement grounds, and then they've got this path, and you walk through these houses from oldest to newest in buildings. And oh, dude, I didn't even know that there was this old settlement there, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is so cool. So, and then we went to City Cafe, which I don't know. I feel like City Cafe is okay. I would not take my parents there if I was like, hey, let's go out to town. Let's go out on the town, a night of eatery. I wouldn't put City Cafe that high up. Um, it's not like a big tourist attraction like how Lambert's down in South Alabama is, but it's kind of basically the same food. It's like home cooked food, but not. It's a huge variety, a very large variety. I think I heard Gordon Ramsay say once that a menu should not have as many pages as this menu has and should not have this many food items as this menu has. Not this place in particular, but about like another restaurant that has a very similarly situated menu. It's a lot. Um, and with that, they can't possibly keep that much food fresh, like that many ingredients fresh. So they have a lot of frozen stuff. They have to pre-cook and put on hot plates a lot of stuff. So it's okay food. It's like as good as like what your mom would make, basically. Um, Ava got chicken strips and fries, and then Josh and I always generally split what we get. He got, what did I get? I got a excuse me, I got, I think, like a patty melt. Yeah, I think I was feeling a patty melt that day, and he got some sort of like Jewish burger, like a Greek burger, something like that. He got a burger too, and then we both got fries. And then they also have, it's not a bakery, but if anybody knows what like Village Inn is out there in the Midwest, they have two or three different coolers with cakes and pies. And I'm not talking small coolers, I'm talking like these are like 15-foot long. They have basically 45 feet of two-tiered coolers with a large variety of cakes and pies. And they cut, look, these cakes are so tall. Oh my goodness, and so elaborate. Josh got like a chocolate mint cake, and like you can tell it is 1/5. It's like a 1/5 slice of this cake. But any normal cake, like round cake you'd get from Walmart, this is like half of that cake because it's so tall. They have like triple and quadruple layer cakes, and then you get a fifth of a slice, and they're already huge cakes, they're like 12-inch cakes. You get a lot of slice of cake. Um, and then Ava got a Reese's peanut butter cheesecake, Reese's peanut butter chocolate cheesecake, I think. But their cheesecakes is a layer of cheesecake on top of a layer of cake. It's their cakes are massive. So they each got a slice of dessert. I did not. I could not finish anymore. I did take a small little bite of her cheesecake because I love Reese's and I can't resist them. But it was crazy. It was a fantastic way to end the day. And then we went over and took her back to her dad's. But it was for the weekend. But yeah, no, it was really good. I had a lot of fun. If anybody is in the area and either A goes to Barrett on the Mountain, tell me how it was. And anyone who's in the area who has been to Baird on the Mountain. Like, what are your thoughts? Tell me about your experience. I would love to hear. Really, what I want to hear is that you guys experienced a ghost or something, but I don't know. I just don't think ghosts are really outside of these kinds of settlement kind of things. Um, but oh my god, it was so cool. It was so cool. Anyway, um, so yeah, so you can message me on TikTok, you can message me on Instagram. I don't think you can message me on Facebook. Um, you can try if you want and see if I get a notification. I don't really know quite how that works. I also don't think I think it's also because I haven't gotten any notifications yet. No one tried messaging me yet. So you can find me on Facebook, any of my socials. It's all generally average ghost mom. Maybe there's some average dot ghost dot mom. Maybe it's average ghost mom 4, but like it's you'll see my logo. You'll know. You will know. Um Preferably I would love if you guys would email me with any tips, tricks, about teaching my 6-year-old how to be a good peer person, how to be a good human. Um, and from anyone who's around like the Huntsville, North Alabama area, what are some awesome historical places to go to? Wait a minute. Isn't Helen Keller from Florence, Alabama? Is it Helen Keller? Yeah. Yeah, isn't she? I think she is. I will have to look into that. Because, like, if you're not really from a certain place, you're only taught about these, like, major things, like, once or twice in your American history, and that's kind of it. And I was not born and raised here, so Helen Keller was just, like, a two-time thing in my life. I didn't even know she was from Alabama. I think my friend said that she's from Florence, Alabama. I'll have to look into that. But, if anybody's listening who's from this area, and you have, like, some fun kid friendly historical things or even non kid friendly because I would love to go, just me and Josh. We love museum. Well, I love museums. I think he just loves going out with me sometimes. Um, but definitely send me links. Hit me up. I would love to know more. I am to your disposal of where to go. Anyway, I love you guys. I won't take up too much more of your time, and I will talk to you later. Bye.